Leo never thought his quiet walk through the forest would lead him into the unknown. It was a calm night. The stars were out, and the breeze was soft. He often came here to clear his head and get away from his noisy city life. But tonight, something was different. As he stepped deeper into the trees, a strange humming sound filled the air. It wasn't coming from any bird, car, or machine he knew. It was low at first, like a deep vibration, then grew louder. The ground beneath him began to shake slightly. He looked up. A beam of white light burst through the sky, shining down right where he stood. Before he could run, the light surrounded him completely. His body froze. He couldn't move, speak, or even blink. In just seconds, everything around him vanished. Darkness. Then light again. Soft, silver light. Leo opened his eyes slowly. He was lying on a smooth surface, like a bed made of glass. The walls were curved and glowing faintly. The air smelled clean, like metal and mist. He sat up quickly. "Where am I?" he whispered. That's when he heard footsteps. Two figures entered the room. They were tall, elegant, and not human. Their skin had a soft shimmer, one with pale blue tones and the other with light lavender. Their eyes glowed slightly, but not in a scary way. They had long hair, one dark like the night sky, the other bright like silver. Leo backed up, heart racing. What is this? Who are you?" The darker-haired one stepped forward and spoke gently. "Do not be afraid, Leo. You are safe." "How do you know my name?" The second woman gave a small smile. "We've been watching Earth for some time. You were chosen." Leo stood up, still unsure if he was dreaming. "Chosen for what?" The first alien placed a hand on her chest. "My name is Rava. This is Sil. We are from the planet Viora. Our people have a system that bonds soul patterns. You are a perfect match for both of us." Leo stared at them in disbelief. "Bonded? What does that even mean? You took me! This is crazy!" Sil stepped forward now, her voice softer. "We understand this is overwhelming, but you are not a prisoner. You are a guest. We brought you here because the bonding system chose you. We didn't expect it to link to both of us, but it did. That has never happened before." Leo's mind was spinning. He walked around the room, touching the wall. It felt cool and smooth. There were no doors, no windows, yet somehow the room felt open. "Take me back," he said finally. "Please, I didn't agree to this." Rava looked at Sil. They exchanged a glance. Then Rava nodded slowly. "We will explain everything. But returning now is dangerous. Your planet is not ready for this knowledge. If we return you without explanation, others will come, and they won't ask nicely like we did." Leo didn't know what to believe. Everything felt too real to be a dream, but too strange to be true. "Why me?" he asked. "I'm not special. I'm just a normal guy." Sil walked closer and knelt down a little, so her eyes met his. Sometimes the ones who feel small carry the biggest light inside. That answer didn't fully explain anything, but it made him pause. They gave him time to rest. The bed adjusted to his shape. Food appeared in a small compartment. Warm, soft cubes that tasted like bread and honey. Water tasted cleaner than anything he had ever had on Earth. Hours passed, or maybe more, he couldn't tell. The ship had no clocks, no windows, just smooth silver walls and gentle lights that dimmed and brightened like natural sunlight. Later, Rava returned alone and invited him to a larger room. It had stars projected on the ceiling and a clear dome in the center that showed a view of space. Leo's breath caught in his chest. Earth was in the distance, a small blue marble among endless black. "You're really far from home," Rava said gently. Leo stood in silence. "Is this forever?" "That depends on you," she replied. Sil soon joined them. She placed something in his hand, a small round crystal. "This is a translator. You can speak to our people through it. We want you to understand our world, not fear it. Leo stared at the crystal. And what if I still want to go home? We'll find a way, Rava said. But we ask that you stay a little while. Learn. See for yourself. If you choose to leave, we won't stop you. Leo looked out the dome again. Earth was still there. But so were these two strangers who had shown him nothing but kindness, even if they had taken him without asking. He didn't answer right away. But something inside him whispered, this was not the end of his story. It might just be the beginning. Leo opened his eyes slowly the next day, or at least he thought it was the next day. The lights in the room had dimmed and brightened gently, giving the feeling of night and day. He sat up, still trying to accept everything that had happened. Rava and Sil returned shortly after, both smiling softly. Did you sleep well? Sil asked. Leo nodded slowly. Yes, surprisingly, it felt peaceful. Rava handed him some clothes. The material was light and soft, like silk, but stronger. We made these for you. They will adjust to your body and temperature. He took them and changed. When he looked in the mirror, he didn't look like someone who was kidnapped. He looked like someone from a story, an explorer in a strange new world. Come, Rava said. We'll show you where we live. They led him to a round platform. As soon as they stepped onto it, a gentle hum began, and the platform slowly floated upward. The walls opened like flower petals, revealing a wide view outside. Leo's eyes widened. The planet was stunning. Green skies shimmered softly above silver forests. Floating buildings hung in the air like balloons tied to invisible threads. Waterfalls ran upward, defying gravity, and flocks of glowing bird-like creatures flew in perfect circles. This is Viora, Sil said, standing beside him. Our home. It's beautiful, Leo whispered. Like a dream. As they floated toward the central city, Rava explained. Our society is built on balance. Technology and nature work together. We don't take more than we need, and we try to preserve beauty. They landed on a smooth stone path. It led to a tall, shining tower shaped like a spiral shell. Inside, the walls pulsed gently with light and soft music played without instruments. This will be your home while you stay, Sil said. You'll have space, food, and anything else you need. You're not a prisoner. Leo explored the room. It was warm, quiet, and peaceful, but it was also strange to be this far from Earth, from everything he once knew. Later, they brought him to a large open garden. Flowers that changed color with every breeze surrounded the path. Alien children played in the distance, their laughter like chimes. Sil picked a flower and gave it to Leo. This one means new beginning in our language. Leo smiled a little. You really believe we're connected, don't you? Rava nodded. The bonding system doesn't make mistakes. It links hearts that would never meet without it. But how can that work? Leo asked. I'm human. You're not. We come from different worlds. Sil sat on a nearby bench and looked up at the sky. Our people believe the heart is not made of flesh. It's made of truth. And truth can pass through stars. Leo didn't have an answer for that. He sat down too, looking at the two women. They weren't forcing him, and they weren't cruel. They were gentle, curious, lonely even. That night, as he lay on his new bed, he thought about their kindness. He still missed Earth, but he didn't feel afraid anymore. The next morning, Leo woke up to the sound of soft music. A tray of warm food waited on the table, something like fruit and soft bread. It tasted sweet and refreshing. Sil met him outside and offered him a small device. It helps you understand our language. If you wear it behind your ear, you'll hear both your language and ours. Leo put it on. As they walked through the city, he began to hear the alien speech around him and understand it. The people were polite and calm. They bowed their heads slightly when they passed. No one stared or acted strangely. A few even smiled. They respect you, Rava said, who had joined them. Humans are rare here, and someone chosen by the bonding system is seen as important. Leo was shown many things: floating farms powered by sunlight, libraries with knowledge from hundreds of worlds, and healing centers that used light and sound instead of medicine. He was amazed at how advanced their world was, but also how peaceful. There were no loud machines, no pollution, no traffic. Everything moved with purpose and quiet energy. Later, Leo sat with Syl under a large tree with glowing leaves. "Can I ask you something?" he said. "Of course," she replied. "You said I was matched with both of you. Is that normal?" Syl looked thoughtful. "No, it's rare. Usually the system links one person to another. For it to bond three, that's unheard of. Do you believe in it? Or are you just following tradition?" Syl turned to him and gave a kind smile. "I believe in what I feel. When I look at you, I don't see a stranger. I see someone familiar, someone who matters." Leo felt his heart beat a little faster. He didn't fully understand it either, but something inside him felt it too. That evening, Rava took him to a quiet hill overlooking the glowing river. The stars above were larger than he had ever seen. She sat beside him. "Do you hate us for taking you?" Leo looked at her, then at the stars. "I was scared. I was angry. But now, I'm not sure what to feel." Rava nodded slowly. "We didn't plan this. We were only studying Earth's energy signals when the system activated. It chose you. And we followed it." He looked at her face. She was strong, but there was a sadness in her eyes. A deep one. "Have you done this before?" he asked. She shook her head. "Never. We had someone before. He died in the war. We've been alone since." Leo felt her pain, even without knowing the full story. He reached out and gently touched her hand. "I'm sorry." Rava gave a small smile. "Maybe this time, the story ends differently." Leo was getting used to life on Viora. The days were calm, the food was healthy, and the air felt cleaner than anything on Earth. But deep in his heart, something still didn't feel right. He was living in comfort, but he hadn't come by choice. He had been taken. Rava and Syl treated him with kindness. They gave him space, listened to him, and explained things slowly. Still, Leo had questions, real questions, and no clear answers. One day, when he was alone, curiosity pushed him to explore further. Rava and Syl had shown him many parts of their city, but there were areas they never brought him near, tall towers with symbols he couldn't read. So, using the small translator device Syl gave him, Leo made his way quietly into one of those buildings while the two were away at a meeting. The doors opened when he touched them. No alarms, no guards. Inside, the halls were cold and quiet. Strange screens glowed along the walls, showing maps, charts, and old records. He followed a soft humming sound into a lower chamber. There, in the center of the room, he saw it. A glowing orb floating in a clear glass frame. It pulsed gently with light like a beating heart. A name floated above it in both alien letters and English. Bonding System, Soul Match Records. Leo stepped closer. A nearby console blinked on as he approached. He placed his hand near it and the system recognized his presence. The screen showed something that made his stomach twist. Subject, human male, Earth. Match strength, 97%, Rava, 94%, Syl. Selected for reproduction program, level 3. Priority, hybrid viability. High Leo's mouth went dry. "Reproduction program," he whispered. He scrolled through more pages. It showed genetic studies, emotional bonding simulations, and even potential timelines for offspring development. He took a step back, heart pounding. Had they chosen him because they cared, or because of science? A soft voice spoke behind him. "You were not supposed to see this." Leo turned around quickly. Syl stood in the doorway, her face calm but sad. "You knew about this?" he asked, trying to keep his voice steady. Syl walked forward slowly. "Yes, we both did. But it's not what you think." "Then what is it?" Leo asked. Because from what I just read, I'm not a guest, I'm a project. Syl sighed and sat on a bench nearby. Many years ago, a war destroyed half our population. Our people lost not only lives, but hope. The bonding system was created to help us survive, not just through science, but through real connection. Leo stayed quiet. We didn't choose you like picking an object from a list, she said softly. The system matched us. Rava and I were already bonded once. But we lost him. We thought we'd never connect with anyone again. Then you appeared. Leo looked at the screen again. But all this, tests, matches, reproduction plans, it's hard to believe it's just about feelings. Syl nodded slowly. You're right to be upset. We should have told you. But we were afraid. Afraid of what? Leo asked. That you'd leave, she said, looking down. That we'd lose our second chance. Leo turned the screen off and stepped away. He didn't say anything else and walked back toward his room. That night, Leo didn't sleep well. His mind kept going back to what he had seen. Were Rava and Syl truly kind to him because of who he was, or just because of what he could give them? The next morning he found Rava waiting in the garden. Her eyes were serious. Syl told me what happened, she said quietly. Leo crossed his arms. So, you were using me? No, Rava said firmly. We never lied about how we felt. But we were part of a program, yes, and that part we kept from you. Why? Leo asked. Why not just be honest? Because most people don't stay when they learn they were chosen by a system, she answered. They run. We didn't want that. Leo sat down on a nearby bench, tired. I don't want to be an experiment. You're not, Rava said. You are a person. You matter. We care. But yes, our world believed bringing in strong, kind partners from other planets could help save us. Leo looked at her. And now? Rava walked closer. Now, it's your choice. We will not stop you if you want to leave. We will not hold you against your will. Leo stayed quiet for a long time. Finally, he asked, Have there been others like me? Rava hesitated, then nodded. There were a few. None of them stayed. Leo's eyes lowered. Because of this? Yes, she replied. Because they felt used. Maybe we made the same mistake again. But then she looked him in the eyes. But I don't regret knowing you, Leo. Even if you leave, I will remember your kindness, your courage. You are more than just a match. That afternoon, Leo walked alone through the floating garden paths. The air smelled like sweet fruit, and the sounds of birds echoed softly. He sat near a tree and tried to think clearly. He remembered how Rava shielded him from that wild creature on their first day. He remembered Syl waking him gently each morning. The way they listened. The way they never raised their voices or tried to trap him. He thought about Earth. His small apartment, his boring job, his quiet life. No one was waiting for him there. No one had cared this much. He still didn't have all the answers. But one thing was sure. These women were not just following orders. They had hearts too. He had seen them hurt, cry, and smile. Maybe, just maybe, this bond meant something real. Leo stood on the high balcony of the tower, watching the stars. He had been on Viora for several days now. His heart was torn between two worlds, Earth, where he was born, and this strange planet, where two alien women wanted him to stay. Rava, and Syl had been kind to him, but the truth about the bonding system still filled his mind. He didn't know what to do. That morning, Syl had offered him something new, a small tablet with communication abilities. You can try to send a signal to Earth, she said gently. We know how much you miss your world. Leo looked at her. You trust me with this? Syl gave a soft smile. If we didn't, we wouldn't have given it to you. Leo sat alone, in his room, and tapped the device. It glowed softly. He found a system menu and searched for Earth signal range. It wasn't easy, but his time studying electronics back on Earth helped. After some effort, he sent a simple message. I'm alive. I'm not on Earth. I need help. Seconds later, red lights flashed. An alarm rang softly through the building. The device buzzed and locked itself. Leo's heart dropped. What did I do? Suddenly, Rava and Sil burst into the room. Behind them were 3 alien guards, all in silver armor. Rava raised her hand. Lower your weapons. He didn't know. The guards hesitated, then stepped back. What happened? Leo asked. You triggered a security alert, Rava explained. Communicating with Earth is seen as risky by our council. If the message is intercepted by other planets, it could cause panic. Sil looked worried. The council will want answers. They may not be as understanding as we are. Leo felt guilt rise inside. I didn't mean to make things worse. I wanted to hear something from home. Rava nodded. We understand, but now we must go to the council. They've already requested our presence. That evening, the 3 of them stood before the High Council of Viora. The chamber was large and round, with glowing pillars and floating seats. 7 council members sat above, watching them with calm but serious faces. One of the council members, an older woman with golden eyes, spoke. You have broken protocol by bringing a human without permission, and now that human has sent a signal off-world. Rava stepped forward. We accept responsibility, but we ask for understanding. The bonding system chose him. Another council member said, That system has made mistakes before. Feelings are not enough to break ancient laws. Sil took a breath and spoke firmly. Leo is not a threat. He helped us, cared for us. He deserves the chance to choose. The golden-eyed woman turned her gaze to Leo. Do you wish to stay human, or do you wish to return to Earth and never speak of this again? Leo looked up at her, then at Rava and Sil beside him. He remembered the nights they spent talking, the way they trusted him, the way they never forced him. I still miss home, he said slowly, but I don't want to leave with anger in my heart. I want to understand this world. I want to choose freely. The room was quiet. Then the council leader nodded. Very well. You may stay under one condition. You must prove your loyalty, not just with words, but with action. Before Leo could ask what that meant, an alarm rang through the city. A deep voice echoed from the council's communication orb. An unknown ship has entered Viora's sky. It is not one of ours. We are under attack. Outside, the peaceful city was in chaos. A large black ship hovered above the skyline. It fired strange green beams at the outer towers. People were running. Guards were preparing defenses. Sil grabbed Leo's hand. We need to get to safety. No, Leo said. I can help. You're not trained, Rava said. But I know electronics. I worked with systems like this on Earth. Maybe I can slow their attack. They rushed to the control room at the heart of the city. Engineers were struggling to keep the defense shields up. Sparks flew from broken panels. Leo ran to a nearby console. He recognized the wiring patterns. I need a stabilizer coil and power crystal. Now. One of the engineers handed them over. Leo worked fast. His fingers moved with skill and confidence. In a few minutes, he rewired the panel and boosted the power supply. The shields returned at full strength. The enemy ship's beams bounced off harmlessly. Cheers filled the room. Later, after the danger had passed and the enemy ship retreated, the council met again. You risked your life for our city, the golden-eyed woman said to Leo. You have shown true loyalty. Leo stood quietly, dust still on his clothes, hands slightly burned. We will not force you to stay, she continued. But if you choose to remain, you will be welcomed. Leo turned to Rava and Sil. Both were silent, waiting. He gave a tired smile. I think I've already chosen. The next morning, the city of Viora was quiet again. The threat was gone. The damage was being repaired. But something had changed, not only in the sky, but in Leo's heart. He walked through the peaceful gardens with Rava and Sil beside him. The air smelled fresh and small crystal butterflies floated around the flowers. Leo looked up at the twin moons overhead. I never thought I would say this, but this place feels like home now. Sil smiled. You've done more than most would. You chose to help us when you didn't have to, and you stayed when you could have left, Rava added. You saw the truth and you didn't run. They led him to the center of the city, where a large circle of glowing stone stood. It was the place of bonding ceremonies, a space for choices made freely with no pressure or rule forcing them. The council had approved this moment, not because of old traditions, but because of Leo's bravery, honesty, and heart. Sil stepped forward and held out her hand. Leo, our bond with you is not just from a system. It's from us, from the way we feel when we're with you. You gave us hope again. Rava moved beside her. We don't want to claim you, we want to walk beside you. Will you choose us? Not as part of a plan, but as your own path? Leo looked at them both. He had come from a world where no one really noticed him, where his life felt small and quiet. Now he stood on an alien world, where two women from another galaxy wanted him, not because of what he could give them, but because of who he truly was. He stepped forward and took both their hands. I choose you. The light around the circle rose like a soft wave, warm and golden. The wind carried music through the trees, though no instruments played. It was as if the planet itself was smiling. The crowd that had gathered to watch the ceremony clapped their hands gently. Their faces were full of joy, not because of tradition, but because of something real. A bond that had grown beyond stars and rules. In the days that followed, Leo was given a new role in the city. He helped teach others about Earth's ideas and tools. He worked with young inventors who wanted to learn how humans solved problems. His knowledge of machines became a gift for Viora. Rava returned to her duty as a guardian of the outer lands, and Sil went back to her work in science and healing. But every evening, the three of them would meet again, sharing food, stories, and laughter. Leo learned their language fully. He wore clothing that mixed Earth style with Vioran design. He had a space in their home, not as a guest, but as part of a family. One day, while walking near the glowing river with Sil, Leo asked a quiet question. Do you ever think about the past? About the one you lost? Sil looked up at the sky. Yes, I remember him. He was kind like you. But I don't compare. I've learned that love is not a competition. It's a new song each time. Leo nodded. Do you think Earth and Viora could ever meet peacefully? I believe it's possible, Sil said, but only if people like you lead the way. Later that night, Rava joined them on the balcony. She looked tired but happy. We've been offered a mission, she said, to explore nearby systems and help others rebuild after the war. Sil turned to Leo. They want us to go together. Leo raised an eyebrow. You mean all three of us? Rava nodded. As a team, as a family, to share what we've learned and help where we can. Leo smiled. Then let's go. A few weeks later, they stood aboard a new ship, sleek, silver, and shaped like a wing in the wind. Leo looked out at the stars. He wasn't afraid anymore. He wasn't just a visitor. He wasn't lost. He was chosen. And this time, it was his own choice. The engines hummed softly as the ship rose into the sky. Rava stood at the control panel. Sil checked the charts, and Leo took a deep breath, feeling something he had never truly felt before. Belonging. As the ship glided across the stars, leaving Viora behind for a while, Leo looked at his companions, two alien women who had once taken him from Earth and changed his life forever, not by force, but through care, truth, and love. And in return, he gave them the one thing they feared they had lost: hope.